Well, good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing today? It's good to have you here. So, we're here to talk about the creation stories again. There we go. But before we do, let's liven it up a bit.
Yet you still insist. I need a proof of vaccination to exist. And so the lies persist. But some of us can tell, and you bet we will resist. I hope you know it's plain to see the pseudoscience you misuse on the TV. And all the power you abuse that keep the people confused and afraid. How is this still going on? This fire's been going for way too long. If you ain't blind, you can see that this is wrong. And I won't comply. Not me, no way. I may be wrong, and after all, I'm just a singer. But I'm not afraid to use my brain and middle finger. So go ahead and do your thing, but I'm not taking anything. These vaccine passports are a crime, and so I sing. Hell no. Am I gonna get it? Hell no. HELLNO. Do I trust the government? Hell no. Do I comply? Hell no. HELLNO.
I'll put the link for that song in chat. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing great. Been a fun day. Who have we got in chat today? B. Freeman, hey, mystery schooler, how you doing? James Ortiz, Lucky Smith, good to see you. Mediyard, hi, how you doing? Excellent. Good crowd today, I like that. So how are we all doing today? I'm having a fantastic day. Let's see, where are you guys again? Over here. Okay. Let's get rid of this guy. So we're here to do the Vedic creation story. Well, it's actually just a hymn. It's not very long, so I thought we'd do a little bit more. Let's see, where are you guys here? We'll share that with you. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. I appreciate it. There we go. So there's that song. Let's see. So if you guys want to share that out. So the Vedic hymn of creation, very interesting subject. I haven't read it before, so I read a portion of it to begin with. It's lunchtime. Nice. Hell to the gnaw? Yeah, that's funny, eh? I love that song. It lifts my spirits every time I hear it. Not afraid to use my brain and middle finger, right? You gotta love that. You know, if you know how to use your brain and middle finger, hi Max, how you doing? You're useless. Well, then I guess you need somebody to lead for you. So Max wants to come up and visit. Are you coming up? Okay. I can't adjust the camera right now. I don't know if you guys can see him. Oh, you got a tail. There you go. I thought I'd move it back. I got puffy eyes today. It's allergy season. I don't need any close-ups or anything. We are all blessed here. Thanks. Awesome mystery school. Still not satanic. That's a bonus. Although the precepts of the satanic church are not too bad if people follow them. That's good meta yard, right? You don't like the spilling of blood for very questionable purposes. No, those type of rituals are definitely wrong, and I don't know that many of them are. I think they are part of some satanic worship, but predominantly not. At least I hope so. Although it used to be very prevalent to sacrifice smaller selves or lambs or children to various gods. I don't condone it, but that was what happened in the past. I think any god that demands sacrifice of that nature really isn't a god at all. So let's get some. Do we still have that up there? Let's see it. Sumerian descendants. There's that one. Give me a second. What's some frequencies on? So we can all enjoy that. Well, you guys can't enjoy it, maybe, but I can. So I'll put them on in between. Yeah, if it wants sacrifice, it ain't good. That's right. That's my policy too, Mystery Schooler. Children too, man. Right. And they're still doing it to this day. They do it differently now. We still sacrifice children. And have you heard that, I think it was California has said, I think it was California, that they're allowing what they call abortions up until 7 days after birth. So that I believe, I think it's 49 days. In the Vedic tradition, seeing as we're talking about Vedic right now, in the Vedic tradition, 49 days after birth or after conception, the soul is formed. So about a month. I think it was longer than that, 79. It's got a 9 in it anyways. I'm not a one way or the other guy. I think that some people should be allowed, but there should be limits. You know, you can't be all the way along in your term and just decide, you know, I'm done with this. You know, you have to make that decision early on. And it does talk about that type of thing in ancient writings. It talks about the soul migrating into the body, that it doesn't happen all at once. It takes quite a while. The spirit will float around the mother's womb for quite a long time, taking a long time to integrate itself completely. But I believe it's 79 or it's either 79 or 149 days. The soul has completely entered the body. Maybe we can discover that sometime. Kind of interesting, people sacrifice to Greek gods, but King Tantalus was sent to Tartarus for serving the Olympians' human flesh. Very confusing, yeah, Mr. Schooler. Where are we here? Let me check something. Hi, Truth Seeker. I just caught you there. You know how bad I am at chat. Let's see here. Want you to be able to post your channel, Mr. Schooler. Oh, okay, you're already modded up. Okay. Truth Seeker, how you doing? Good to see you. Remember, moderators, you're just here to share information, not to moderate the chat. I do that. Yeah, so let's look into this. Creation myth. Yeah, share your channel here so others can join you. Let's get into this here. And of course, we have the Isha, I'll say it in a moment, Isha Upanishad to look at as well. So we'll take a look at a couple of texts. So they give a brief description of what they think it is. I didn't read that. Okay. So here we go with the Vedic creation hymn. Then was not existent. Then was non-existent or existent. There was no realm of air, no sky beyond it. What covered in and where? And what gave shelter? Nothing. Was water there? Unfathomed depth of water? All questions. Death was not then, nor was there aught immortal, nor sign was there the days and nights divider. That one thing, breathless, breathed by its own nature. Apart from it was nothing whatsoever. Darkness was there, at first concealed in darkness. All this was indiscriminate chaos. All that existed then was void and formless. By the great power of warmth was born that unit. Interesting. Friction, maybe. Electricity. Thereafter rose desire in the beginning. Desire, the primal seed, the germ of spirit. I want or I am. Hi, Max. Are you going to jump down? Okay, there you go. Sages who searched with their hearts thought, discovered that existence, kinship in the non-existence. Transversely, there was serving. Transversely, there was severing, line extended. So this is a very scientific journal. What was above it then, and what was below it? There were begetters. There were mighty foes. Free action here, and energy up yonder. Who knows, who verily knows, and who can here declare it, whence it was born, and whence it comes, this creation? The gods are later than this world's production. Who knows then whence it first came into being? He, the first origin of his creation, whether he formed it all or did not form it all, whose eye controls this world in the highest heaven. He verily knows it, or perhaps he knows not. Very interesting. The upper, the lower. What do you guys think so far? The upper, the lower, the separating line. I think they're describing torus field technology, or born from desire, which is a really interesting thing. There's something I found and thought about this channel. Can't remember what it was. Okay. Like Star Trek when they're stuck in California. Yeah. As soon as John is done, after party on my channel. There you go. Anyone seen a set of keys? Was with your rolling papers. The crossover of souls is quite a journey sometimes. It's confusing too. Well, if all is L, I start with all is L and all is Atun. B. Freeman. Cheers, Conspiracy Daddy. Rizzy Truth, hi, how you doing? Good to have you here. Okay, let's take another look back. So reading 2 is the Isha Upanishad. Thank God it doesn't have many words like that in there. They do talk about it quite a bit on their own. But we will, let me just go back a minute, and we can take apart this little text. I'd like to analyze it a little bit more. Creation story. Let's see what you guys have to say. Yeah, hit that like button for me. Go ahead. Hey, Scotty boy, how you doing? The Muffin Man and the search. What? for blueberry cherry girl and pie. You coming back, are you, Max? Okay. Hello. Yeah, you go over there. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. All is God, alchemy is chemistry, modern science has taken Al out of, yeah. No thinking CBT time? CDP? CDP? Cap time. Okay. No, cat time. Oh, yeah. Scotty boy can't even spell properly because now the cat's gotten into his brain. Was he in your dreams? Of course he was. You know, he's a very affectionate kitty. And he is so soft. You'd be lucky to have him in your dreams. He's coming to torment you. Well, I have to change the picture, and I have to do it on my phone. So, yeah, it might be Mr. Schooler. Maybe Scotty Boy did too much LSD in college. Maybe he's on the cancel culture rampage. I'm going to cancel Max because he's just in my dreams. Black and white cats everywhere. Yeah, they're starting to maybe gang up on you. You have to make friends, I think. Okay. The one self. So they describe the darkness. There was nothing, absolutely nothing, without having arrived at the knowledge of the true self. Where are we here? Unapishtu. Oh, we're not back there yet. I was on a different. Go to the Vedic creation hymn. I wanted to take another look at this. So death was not then, darkness. They have nothing. All that existed was void and formless. By the great power of warmth was born that unit. So it called it a unit. What was it? A unit of energy? Unit of spirit? Unit of desire? Just the desire to exist? A primal seed and germ of spirit. Thereafter rose desire in the beginning. Desire, the primal seed and germ of spirit. That wish to exist, that wish to do, maybe just the wish to move. I don't know, what do you guys think? Sages who searched with their hearts, thought, discovered the existence, kinship in the non-existent. Transversely was their severing line extended. What was above it then, and what was below it? There were begetters, there were mighty forces, takers and givers, positive and negative, between the line. The great plain, free action here, and energy up yonder. I think that's describing going up yonder and coming back down. Who verily knows, and who can declare it? Who here can declare it? Whence it was born and whence it comes, its creation. The gods are later than this world's production. Who knows then whence it first came into being? He, the first origin of this creation, whether he formed it all or did not form it all, whose eye controls this world in highest heaven, he verily knows, or perhaps he knows it not. I love that. That's beautiful. It's simple. Nope, darkness isn't evil. Darkness does come from light, and light comes from darkness. The darkness is not actually the absence of everything, it's just a different form of everything. The negative to the positive, the even to the odd, really. If we take equal portions of electricity and put them into a ball, they cancel each other out. If we take an odd number, they illuminate. And that's just their nature. One draws in and doesn't let anything out, doesn't let any light out. And one expels and sends light out and energy. And that's how the two start spinning. And then you get the separation and the disc. Hi, Delaney. Who invaded who? Dark was here doing dark and light showed up? Yeah, it seems like there was nothing, right? Death was not then. There was that one thing, breathless, breathed by its own nature. Apart from it was nothing whatsoever. Darkness there was, at first concealed in darkness. This all was indiscriminate chaos. So it could have been that there was an even energy amount in the beginning. An even amount would make it the negative polarity in light, or an electron, canceling each other out, being darkness. and then somehow desire, the primal seed, the germ of spirit, interrupted that darkness. Those two sentences, this very small middle section of the poem where everything changed, is pretty much where all the science is. These few sentences. Thereafter rose desire in the beginning. Desire, the primal seed, the germ of spirit. Death was not then, nor were there aught immortal. No sign was there, the day's light, night and night's divider. That one thing, breathless, breathed by its own nature. Doesn't say whether it was light or dark. Apart from it was nothing whatsoever. Darkness was there. So maybe in the beginning there was darkness, and the darkness was the seed, you know? The desire broke the darkness, the primal seed and gem spirit. I really like this one. In Norse, it was a massive void. Yes, exactly. Finally, the heat. And they do talk about the heat. So it was probably the cold. The cold. It was probably all cold. I wonder if darkness had tentacles. Well, let me just grab something here. Let's look at the darkness. Let's find where we can look at the darkness here. There's some darkness. Not that one, though. Give me a moment, guys. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is a rather, it's a fuzzy image, but it was fuzzy to begin with. So let's look at the darkness. Okay, so there we have, this is a photon. So half of this would be an electron, okay, and it spins in the same manner. So this one is spinning and headed in this direction. There's a disk here in the middle. You can see, hopefully. It's not that clear, but it's there. Now, the even amount of electricity is in the darkness. The odd electricity is in the white parts. So we can call them muons and electrons. So the muon would be the dark part. That's what they're looking for, is dark matter, muons. So that's dark matter there. Call it a muon. So all of existence would have been the dark, the muon, until a disbalance happened, until it was perturbed and something changed. Too dark and too light make up the photon. Half of this is an electron. Awesome. So that's kind of the scientific side of it, I think. At least in my thinking, that's what they're trying to describe, is all darkness. And the light came in by some imbalance, some addition of something. Well, they're both made up of the same thing. They're both electricity. There's no difference in the material makeup of those two particles. The only difference is that one is positive and the other is negative, because the negative has an even amount of electricity to cancel itself out. The positive has an odd number. You think of it as Adam and Eve. Adam on top, odd Adam, and even Eve on the bottom, right? It would be this way to think of it. Half of that. So Adam, odd Adam, and even Eve on the bottom. And you'll see that in every story, the male-female characters can be used to describe the electron. Well, the middle point, there is, even in the electron and the photon, there is a disk. You could call that the Christ point, the child. The what it really is in a torus field, it's what do you call it? Well, pinch point. He saw his own body below him, and everything had a blue hue. Wow. I'm neutral, can't even ride on top if she wants. Well, neutral would be the black, Scotty boy. A ground is also the neutral, and that would be the black. So I really like that story. It describes the science. So yeah, transversely they're severing line extended. So I'm talking about when there's a severing line, and it's right there. See it going crossways? I'll show it to you both ways. That way you can catch it. It's faint, but it's there. It's a disc. So there was darkness first concealed. Where's the line? What was above it then and what was below it, they don't know. There were begetters, there were mighty forces. Free action here and energy up yonder. So it knew at that point where was up and where was down. So it had an up and a down. So you can take the disc here, it was on the side, put it this way, and there would be, get rid of half of it to make an electron. So who verily knows? Who can declare it? Who here can declare it? Whence it was born and whence it comes, this creation. The gods are later. We'll probably get to them. Can't remember who it was. Okay. All right. So the Isha Upanishad. So let me share screen with you guys and see what we have in this document. Let's see if I'm sharing the right one here. I've got two copies open. Let's see, okay. Okay, let me check again. Yeah, okay, I've got the right one. Okay. So, the Isha Upanishad. All this whatsoever moves on earth is to be hidden in the Lord, the Self. When thou hast surrendered all this, thou mayest enjoy. Do not covet the wealth of man, of any man. Wow. Though a man may wish to live 100 years performing works, it will be thus with him, but not by any other way. Work will thus not cling to a man. This is interesting. This is kind of like a whole bunch of little verses. Let me see. Okay. There are the worlds of the Asuras, gods covered with blind darkness. We'll go with the darkness again. Those who have destroyed their self, who perform works without having arrived at a knowledge of true self. That's an added phrase. So those who have destroyed themselves go after death to those worlds. The one, the self, they say, through never stirring, the swifter than thought. Thought never stirring is swifter than thought. Okay. Oh, sorry. The one, though never stirring, is swifter than thought. The devas never reached it. It walked before them. Though standing still, it overtakes the others who are running. Matar Isvan, the wind, the moving spirit, bestows power on it. So they say the wind and the spirit is an addition. So Matar Savan bestows power on it. Again, we have the addition of electricity. Very interesting. And it stirs and it stirs not. It is far and likewise near. It is inside all of this and outside all of this. And he who sees all beings in the self, and the self in all beings, he never turns away from it. When to a man who understands the self has become all things, what sorrow, what trouble can there be to him who once beheld that unity? True. He, the self, encircled all, bright, incorporeal, scatheless, without muscle, pure, untouched by evil, a seer, wise, omniscient, self-existent. He disposed all things rightly for eternal years. All who worship what is not real enter into blind darkness. Those who delight in real knowledge enter, as it were, into greater darkness. One thing, they say, is obtained from real knowledge. Another, they say, from what is not knowledge. Thus we have heard from the wise who taught us this. He who knows at the time both knowledge and not knowledge overcomes death through not knowledge and obtains immortality through knowledge. All who worship what is not the true cause, enter into blind darkness. Those who delight in the true cause enter, as it were, into greater darkness. One thing, they say, is obtained from knowledge of the cause. Another, they say, from knowledge of what is not the cause. And thus we have heard from the wise who taught us this. I like that. Now, a lot of that was describing torus field technology. The in, the out, the push, the pull, the moving without moving. You have a torus field revolving, a plasmoid in the center, spitting out. I'll show you a plasmoid. Here's a cool representation of it. There's a plasmoid. Let's see how that looks. So instead of there being a black hole at the center of every galaxy, I believe that there's a plasmoid. And I think they describe these plasmoids in torus field technology. And there's Scotty Boy in the center. Oh, that's a terrible image. Let me change that. Let's go with the Google search. That way you guys can see more examples. So there's the plasmoids. And they have different, there we go. There's a plasmoid. That's a good one to look at. There's an actual plasmoid experiment where you end up with a rotating tube in the center. And if there was matter or material around that, it would form what would be like a small galaxy. Let's take a look at a few others. See if there's any different imagery. Not really. They don't really talk about this too much. Plasmoids. There's an interesting one. Ions in a dense plasmoid. You can see the funnel shape in this one forming. Now, there's very different forms in plasma science. See all of these forms. But I think our universe is electrically driven, our sun. And a plasmoid has a very high gravitational field. So what I think people say are black holes are actually plasmoids. Now they say that like a bad case of hemorrhoids. When a funnel forms, you got troubles. Well, I think you have creation, right? You saw a ball of lightning travel on the yard on the fence. Awesome. So again, I think that a lot of this is scientific, and if you could A lot of these writings, if they were interpreted properly and we understood it the way the ancients did, we could get, we should have been much further ahead scientifically, because these people understand and understood what the universe was, how it was constructed, what it was made of, you know. Let's see what else we have here. I like those toroidal fields, yeah. Neighbor kids in a laser pen. Yeah, ball lightning, that's pretty rare. I think that I've talked about it before. There's also what's called St. Elmo's fire. And if they electrify the atmosphere enough, we could end up with St. Elmo's fire, which is anything that's not grounded, that's made of metal, will start glowing. Hermes is Toth. Yeah. Dude doesn't give up on us yet anyway. Yeah. It was the 70s? What are you talking about? Oh, when the lightning bolt. Yeah, the ball lightning. Yeah, that could have been a new technology they were bringing out. There was a lot of them brought out in the 70s because there was a lot of illnesses back then. FM radio coming out for one in the early 70s. That caused, in my opinion, the Hong Kong flu, they called it. No, I've never seen ball lightning either. Absolutely not. Glowing as in hot. Well, I don't know. I saw the breaker box glowing at night. Wow. What if we have metal implantation? Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it should dissipate throughout your skin first. And it's only things that aren't grounded. So if you grounded yourself, you should be fine. Yeah, they might be trying to cook you alive. I don't know. Let me close a few tabs here. I always get confused with so many tabs. No, don't want to do that. Uh-oh. I just pushed the wrong button. Give me a minute.
Because I don't want it.
This doesn't want to play for me for some reason. I guess YouTube can't get me on copyright because it's not their material. And
Because I don't trust you.
so they're just going to slow it down.
You still insist. I need a proof of vaccination to exist.
It's a happy little song. I love the ukulele version. There's one by Lion Joe. It's a really fancy version. Lots of heavy guitar and stuff. It's good
I hope
too.
you know it's plain to see the pseudoscience you misuse on the TV and all the power you abuse that keep the people confused and afraid. How is is
Yeah,
this
this isn't
still
YouTube.
going
This is not a YouTube video. It's an
on?
Odyssey video.
This verse been going for way too long. If you ain't blind, you can see that this is wrong, and I won't comply. I mean, no way, I may be wrong, and after all, I'm just a singer. But I'm not afraid to use my brain and middle finger.
Well, yeah,
So
it's okay
go
to
ahead
be.
and
It's
do your
okay to be
thing,
happy.
but I'm
we
not
are.
taking anything. These vaccine
If we
passports
can't
are
laugh,
crying, and
sometimes
so
we gotta
I
cry,
sing.
right? So it's better to laugh.
Hell no, am I gonna get it? Hell
It's like,
no.
you know, you're gonna get sad about something, or you're gonna get mad about it. One of them is
H-E-double-L-N-O.
better
Do I
for
trust the
you.
government? Hell
In
no.
most
Do I
cases.
comply? Hell no. H-E-double-L-N-O.
See, you gotta just play some things sometimes that just put a smile on your face, right? That's how we roll in the islands, eh? Yeah. Well, yeah. Sometimes if you can't laugh, you end up crying. So it's better to laugh. Let's see. Did we want to read any more of the what? The Isha Upanishad. Sorry. Let's go to the next page and see. Oh, we're on to something else. It's the Chandogya. So this is the Isha Upanishad. I'm going to bastardize that word. And this is the Chandogya Upanishad. It's one of the most famous and often read. It tells a story of a father teaching his son the ultimate truth of Hinduism. In the beginning of the Upanishad, the father sends the boy away to study the Vedas with a religious instructor. This was a common practice among the Brahmin. It takes a boy 12 years to study the Vedas. When he returns home, his father apparently thinks that he is too full of himself because he believes that Vedas, full of himself because he believes the Vedas tell everything that needs to be known about Hinduism. But the father decides to teach his son that there is more to Hinduism. There is a mystical knowledge as well that cannot come from reading the scriptures alone. The Upanishads ironically emphasize this theme over and over again. In a work of scripture, the stories keep repeating that religion is more than just scripture. The father then teaches the boy about the underlying unity of everything in the world. He uses examples of several different elements, clay, gold, iron, to demonstrate this point. He says that if you know one item of these elements, you know them all, because underneath them all, there are differences. They are all the same. And they are. Absolutely. They're all the exact same thing. Okay. In the next section, the father uses a few experiments with a seed and salt to teach his son about the self, the subtle essence of the whole world. The father is connecting the Hindu concept of Brahman, truth, or in the Western terms, God, that pervades the entire universe, the Atman, the atom, or personal soul that we each have within us. In Hinduism, these two are one and the same. Our personal soul is divine, our divine spark that has made the same essence as God. This teaching us summarized in his repeated phrase to his son, "Thou art that, you are Brahman." Absolutely. I wonder if a soul is is like a photon or more like an electron. If it was like a photon, it would be like this, but an electron is only half of that. You found a video of Titan heads that are now mountains. Awesome. Do you have a? Let me see here. Yeah, you've got a wrench. You can share that, Scotty or B. Freeman. That'd be awesome. Yeah, you see the atom in there. I guess the atom. I think it's more like atom. The atom. Individual soul, Atman, source is Brahman. Yeah, the all spark. What do they call it? Let's see here. What do they call it? Let's go in here. Well, let's go and read it. Let's see. We'll have to read the text to really interpret it because they've interpreted that for us. 1 second, guys. Kind of getting thirsty here. And all I have is coffee, and I'm hungry. Hey, Singe Man, how you doing? That should be the link. Cool, excellent, thank you. Right, truth seeker, individual soul, the Atman, source is Brahman. Absolutely. Atomist. I guess I am. I'm an atomist. That's a good term. I like it. I generally look at everything from the atom up, the torus field up, our soul, the universe, galaxies, our solar system, everything. Time for lunch. Now I got a couple of Timbits over here I can scarf down. You love it, can see it plain as day? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's nice to have a visual too. I like the visual. It really helps describe it, you know? Because everything can be taken down to the atom. Our soul is an atom. Adam. That's why I think why they called Adam Adam. That could be. Or it was just a cool name. But I think it went along with the teachings, right, of the atom. All is atum, all is electricity, or L. Let's see if I can get that link. I'm not sure if I can. Try. Oh, there's me, middle of a puff. There we go. Let's see. Oh, maybe. That's an interesting one. Let's see here. I'm not convinced on this one so far, but I do like his thinking on it. There we go. Some of them are hard to tell. Some of them now that look like heads, I'm not convinced of, but some of them I am. It just depends. I'm a split on some of them. I know that everything is biology, but what biology it is,
flat,
I'm still
nonce upwards, and the eye
I
trying
do
to
like
breathe.
that one.
Don't worry,
that's very
there's
good.
70 plus pictures in this video.
Oh, that
actually
one's
double because
fantastic.
there's like
That
horizontal
could
and
have been
vertical. I'm
enhanced,
just going to
though.
try and do it
You
as
guys
sweet and
seeing
short
this?
and possible so you don't get bored. Can you see the difference? Can you see when you see it
Let's see.
horizontally or vertically? Usually when you see
I
it
probably will
horizontally,
get
you just see
flagged
a
for
bunch
this.
of
So
hills and mountains. Let's see the
some of them,
vertical stuff.
yeah, definitely.
And
They
eyes,
do
nose, mouth.
really look like
These
it.
are titans. The giants are ridiculous in comparison.
Adam.
Again, just a bunch of dead
Yeah,
rocks, right? Why do you think they're dead rocks? And in the big majority of cases, these are the mountains, the
that
big
one
mountains.
has
I'll
all the
give you names
detail.
afterwards in
Yeah,
the future. Why do you think nothing grows? The petrified corpse
yeah,
of a
yeah.
human
Oh,
titan,
I wouldn't.
the same as with the petrified
I
corpse
wouldn't
of a
doubt it.
tree titan. So
Many
if they
of
have
them,
hexagonal
all of
shapes,
them
the
are
trees,
titans.
if they have the shape of a face, of a human face, they are titan
I wish you had the
humans.
locations on these.
In a world where,
That
of
would
course,
be
if you had
helpful.
titan trees, you had titan humans. That's why
Give me
our
a
human
second, guys. I
species
need
is
to
only 2
scarf down the
centuries,
timber.
maximum 3 centuries old, 200, 300,
I'll show you
300
timbers.
years.
They're delicious.
And the big majority of the forests, the big, huge forest
Little donut holes.
ranges, like the forests in the
It's a
world,
Canadian
are
thing.
just approximately 200 years old. Can you see the difference here? Just see a
I bet
mountain,
you have
and then
them
you see
down
the
in the
human
States,
face
too.
with the neck
But
going downwards, the chin and the nose. The nose is easily spottable all the
Justin
time when you
Bieber
see it
even made his
vertically.
own.
It's very difficult when you see it
He's a
horizontally.
Canadian.
But when you see it vertically,
It's
you
too
just have to
bad,
switch a picture because
but
we
he
live
is.
in a horizontal plane as per the features of our bodies. But if you take the picture and you flip it, voila. And it's always like that. The big majority of cases, it's the face upward as if they're trying to breathe. With the creation of the dome, which is of course made of an energy field. It's not glass or everything like
A lot
that.
of the ones he's
The
found
dome changes the
are very
atmospheric
convincing.
conditions and the pressure
Not
inside
that
here.
one,
You see the
but
nose? It's always the nose. The nose gives it away. The nose of the Titan face, and then it goes from the chin
you
downwards
can kind of see
on the
it.
body. A bunch of dead rocks, of course.
Hmm.
Petrified corpse of Titan. What would the height be? These petrified corpses are usually
Yeah, I haven't
between
looked for where
3 and
they
4 kilometers
located, right? Yeah.
like tall. The height, sometimes more, sometimes less, but the average is between 3,000 and
Celtic
4,000
art,
meters.
very interesting
So they
subject.
stand on their feet. And sometimes you see the mouth open, trying to breathe. Petrification, death by suffocation, and then probably petrified
Yeah,
instantly.
that's right, Scotty boy.
So the creators,
Not all of
in
them are going to
plural,
be what they
who
say
are
they
these
are.
guys who are
Some
capable
of
of
them
actually
probably are.
destroying the Titans? And who created the Titans in the first place? And was Adam, when he was first created, was he a Titan? Because
Mm.
people assume that our humanity is Adam and all the first
No,
human.
we were
Yeah, of
probably
course.
very
Maybe there was a
big.
first human
I don't know
definitely
if
in
I
our
have the
humanity,
audio
but
on
what
here.
about the
He's talking
humans
about the
that came before us?
Titans,
Because these are
which
humans,
these would probably be.
just bigger.
Well, these would be.
Before us, actually, there was like giant
Interesting
humans,
thing about the
and these
Titans,
are
there would
Titan
be,
humans.
by the
So,
calculation.
do you see the mountains differently now? If you look at them, just a bunch of rocks with snow.
Hi,
A
Michelle.
petrified
The
corpse
Titans would
with
be
the face fully visible. Again, look at the
2.666
chin and the
miles
nose
high.
and the head. Some of them are actually, of course, better
So what is the
to be
number of man?
spotted,
It's the
but it's
number
always
of
the
the
nose.
beast,
And if the feature of the
666.
nose is not completely visible, it's either like the lower
An
part of the
L.
face that goes
You
downwards
can look
from the
up.
chin and
I
the
did
neck,
this one
or
night.
the upper part
I
with the
looked up the
forehead
length of an
and the
L.
eyes. Again,
And I
just
don't
a
know
bunch
why
of
it
dead rocks.
converts into
All of a
miles
sudden you
just
see
fine. There's the
nose,
nautical mile, which I
mouth
believe
wide
people
open,
used to go
and the
by.
face and the neck going downwards.
But the
and
mile has
chest.
existed
Again,
for
just a bunch
thousands
of
of years.
lazy rocks. And nose, chin, BI. It's just amazing. Let's move. This one is like actually
So
the full
somehow,
version, the body. Smaller Titan,
I
definitely.
don't know
But
if
still a
I'd
Titan.
imagine it would be an
Again,
average
here,
height
because
of the Titans.
the mouth, the nose, and
But
the head. Like I said, some of them
2.66
are actually
miles.
that are spotted. Machu
Be
Picchu.
interesting to
You
know
look
how
at Machu Picchu, which is super
big
awesome,
these
famous.
landscapes are.
Machu Picchu. Everybody knows Machu Picchu.
Now, I bet they
Everybody
said
knows
that
it, or is it
they
something
were
else?
that
And you're gonna
length
say, "Oh,
to
is this
show
just
that number.
pareidolia?" Your
The
brain is just making
666.
things up. Sure, of course. If it was only Machu Picchu and a couple of more pictures in the whole world,
Yeah,
the
I'm
whole
wondering
known
if we're the
world, because
Titans, or
there's a
I've
bunch of other
heard stories
continents
that
and the bottom of the oceans which we are not
the
allowed to
Atom
explore.
Man
But
was
if
60
it was
feet
just for
tall.
Machu Picchu and a couple of more pictures, I would say, okay, yeah,
Now,
I'm
depending
guilty
on
because
which
I
theory
live
you
in
go
a
by,
fantasy world of dragons and
did
titans. But when you see
was that
only in this
the original
video,
height of the
it's
human beings
70
at that
plus
time,
pictures.
or
If
the
you just
native
consider
creatures
the
that
pictures
they
without being duplicate, because,
altered
for
and
example, in this
augmented,
case, you see the
if you
horizontal
believe
and the
that?
vertical picture. Look at what
Or did they
perfect
just make
face.
Adam
And it's
60
always like
feet
that.
tall?
It's always the face, the head, because that's what stands, right? Because if you see a human corpse, The
Yeah,
head is the
and
one
if you
that
look at a lot of
um,
these mountains,
it's easier to spot. Again, if you look at it
it looks like
horizontally,
like
nothing
that
happens. And
face
if you
there
look at
could be
vertically,
2
look at the
miles.
nose and everything
So
else.
that would be like
Nose everywhere.
what, a
Look at this.
super
This is
titan?
in Africa, by the way. I've shown you pictures from the Alps in America, from
You know,
from
I
the
know,
Alps in
and
Europe,
too,
from pictures in
also,
America,
if you
and
read the
pictures from Africa.
100,000
Look at
Giant
the
War,
giant
these
titan
titans were
face.
not
Middle of nowhere.
really
Again, you just look at
human
a
shaped.
peak,
A lot of them were
and
oddly
then you
shaped
see
because
the
of their
nose.
size.
Some
They were
noses are
rather squat, a lot of them.
Bless you, Lewis. Welcome home. All of Torrance was praying for your safety.
actually
I might get
more
banned for playing this video, but
uglier
we're
or
talking
prettier than others. Depends.
about it. This is a
This one
learning
again, trying to breathe chin
thing, so we're
upwards.
allowed to do that.
So easy to spot. Again, the nose and the mouth and everything else. Again, the mouth and the
Abrahamic
nose
religion
and the chin
humans were
and the
massive
neck
as well.
and the head.
Yeah, it's
Again,
it's
you look at this, you
confusing
don't
to
understand.
know
You look at this, all of a sudden it makes more sense.
what
Human
size
face.
original man
Again,
was.
same here, just a bunch of rocks, nose,
you know,
chin,
was
head,
Noah himself a
forehead.
giant?
This one as
Right?
well, and all of a sudden you see the nose
Was Enoch?
and the
Was
mouth
he a giant?
and the head.
Were
and the
these
chin
giant men?
upwards. This one again.
If they
here
were
you can actually
called
spot the
kings,
nose
they were
quicker,
probably
right?
giant,
Nose,
especially
forehead,
after the flood.
chin, mouth. Fascinating stuff.
But,
Again, nose, chin upwards,
2.66,
trying to breathe.
6.
And then of
There's
course,
3 sixes in it.
it was flooded. The whole place
starting to
was
wonder if
flooded, but of course the
NASA
water
scientists back
was
then
not capable
wanted
of
to have
going beyond
lots of
the height
repeating
of some of these
sixes. Could be.
petrified corpses of titans. So you can actually imagine how big they are, even when lying on their backs. Look at this, how
Those
beautiful.
titans would, yeah, you would see them
Beautiful and
coming for
sad
a
as well.
long way.
Mouth wide open.
We've got a lake
and
here.
nose and head.
It's
and everything else. Just
500
a bigger
feet
titan,
deep.
and this is a female titan.
So it would be
You can
like
see the
shin
chest.
height.
I mean, it's definitely a female because a male.
And most of the
everything like
oceans
straight.
that we have now,
This is like
they
the
would be able
breasts.
to walk in.
Most certainly, and here like the rest of the body,
But
the shoulder, and everything else. It's just
they all
fascinating
died
stuff
from
when you
that.
actually learn. Look at this nose,
From the oceans
so
forming.
incredibly detailed. The nose. This one you can actually argue if it's a nose or not, but when you look at it like that and you see like it falls down like this, like the chin and the neck and everything
the
else.
ending
the head
shows Titans
makes a
as
lot
islands,
of
does
sense.
it? Yeah, and if you look
Again,
at some of
chin
the
upwards,
Star
like
Trek,
very upwards, nose
sorry,
and
Star
trying to
Wars,
breathe because I'm suffocating because the
some of the older
the
movies
variables of this world
where
have
they
changed
have people
because
walking
of the
through
creation of the force
giant
field we call a
corpses
dome.
and things.
Again, who is the creator or the creators in plural who can do all this?
If we
Look
go,
at the sockets,
not if we go
the
by the
places where the
numbers
eyes
that they
were,
built the boat from.
eyes
That's a
and
good
the
point,
nose here.
Scotty boy. Thank you.
Again, chin, nose, small nose. This one. Probably some of them actually got eroded with
The
time.
Abrahamic
In some
myth of
places,
religion, they were giant.
nose, eyes,
Could
big
be.
face.
Like
Again, here you
Job,
just see a human
the
being
earlier
walking
writings
around
before
in
the flood
nature. Is it nature or is it
may have
something
been
else?
filled.
Of course, it's nature.
Well, it
It's
was
nature in the sense that
with giants.
the bodies of these beings were natural. And look at this. This is actually amazing. When you don't have the Titan idea in your head,
All
you just
part
see
of
a
that
bunch
tomb.
of nothing in the middle of nowhere.
Excuse
You
me,
look at this
guys.
like that. Look at this.
I have something in my eye.
Scary, like
Been there for a
HE
couple of
double L,
days. It's
with
called my
mouth
eyelash. It's
wide
curled
open,
around.
trying to breathe. Need air because the
Reminds
world
me of-
was
yeah,
made
it would.
for the destruction afterwards of these
I would
beings
hate to
and the
have lived in
creation
that
of
time when
giants
these titans
and
and,
then
giants
us.
were walking around.
Because we need
Hopefully,
less
the time was short
variables to breathe. Look at this.
because
Middle
they
of
were just
nowhere in the
scarfing
ocean,
down on us, sacrificing
and
us.
huge,
They were horrible.
with a chin.
And if you were a
nose and everything
male,
else.
your likelihood of
fascinating stuff.
making it to
Again, here,
adulthood was
nose.
like 0 to none.
It's actually called bad.
They would allow you to
Valley. I
breed
wonder why
just
the
to make
name
more.
bad comes from.
But they always
It's like
found
because of the
colonies
death
of
of a
little
titan.
cells. If you let us go for
Again,
a few
here.
years, we'll go and make
Mouth
bunches.
wide open
So
and petrified instantly. Imagine just
there was
amazing.
there was a war with
This
them,
one
and
actually
there was
you could
100,000
argue like
giants
the
that
mouth,
went
but
to
actually
war.
here.
Now
The
that
mouth
doesn't
would
mean
be
that
this
that was
one
all of
here
them.
because you have the chin
There
here,
may have been many
and then
more
the
than
nose, and then this would
100,000.
be the place where the eyes
These were the
so.
ones that just went to
And
war.
this one huge mountain.
Now,
Is
I
the
don't know where
mountain
the
or
war
is it something
was.
else? Nose and the head.
When they could have
Approaching the
floated
end here.
around in the
Again, nose
Great
here.
Flood
You can actually
for
see it better like that.
a
Nose
while,
and the whole head of a
too.
human.
But many
That's
of
the
them
mountains, my
got
friends.
stuck in the mud.
People want to understand something more than just your typical stuff. If it doesn't have any
There's so much of
hexagonal
these
shapes,
petrified forms. Yeah,
because of
well,
being a
everything,
plant or a tree,
really.
then you have the
And even
Titan
these people
human
that
face.
see melted
Titan.
buildings,
And it's obviously,
I don't think that they
like I
built them
said, the
out
big
of
question
brick.
is who created
I think
these
they
guys
built
and who
them right
destroyed
into
these guys. You can actually imagine now
geology,
lots of respect
because
for
it would
those
be
who are in
so
control
easy
of
just
this
to
place,
carve into
because
that face
I'm
when it
telling
was
you, I mean,
soft
if these guys were
and
not
make a
capable of
house
fighting
like they did
back
in many
and they just
places.
died
They
like
just
that, you can
carved
actually
into the
imagine
rock. Well, what we saw
the technology that
as
these
carving,
controllers have
but in
over
some
this
cases
place,
you can see it.
and they
It's
can do
scraping.
anything they want.
Like they make chisel
Again,
marks
the
that
chin
they
and the
call them
nose.
chisel
It's
marks
so easy to
in
spot
these
them now. The
rocks,
eye,
but
the nose,
you
the
can't
mouth.
make a
It's so easy to
1 foot
spot them
chisel
now
mark.
once you know the whole
A
thing.
chisel mark is going to be a
And
couple of,
yeah,
maybe
this one again, big nose with
a
mouth and
centimeter,
eyes.
half an inch.
This one
You
again,
know,
here, this one actually
that's a
has the mouth
scrape mark.
very
That's
open,
being just
nose and
gouged
mouth very
right
open. You
out.
see, when you look at it
So at
like
one
that,
time,
it's just
all
like
of
a
this was
typical mountain.
soft.
And then here, bam, awesome stuff, brilliant,
Yeah,
amazing.
imagine what ants think
We've
of
seen this
us.
before. Duplicate, I'm sorry.
I hope they don't really see
And then
us.
this one, again, upwards. So trying to breed because of the change of conditions. This one again, you just see like a typical wasteland, nothing
Right,
else. Oh, I'm
Kal-El,
sorry, man.
Superman's name.
Sorry for what happened to you. Again, you see like they're going down the neck and the nose and the mouth and upwards.
Yeah,
and
they find a
trying to
fossilized
get
cowboy
the
boot.
last
So it
of
only
the
takes
air
about, doesn't even
inside
take
your
that
lungs,
long, really.
nose.
Probably
Actually,
about
if this doesn't
a
look like you
year or
to,
two.
like a human face to
And
you,
all you
then
have to do is
I know what to say.
dry it out in the right
Nose
conditions.
and everything else. And again, this one, you look at this,
Yeah, we're
just
Titans
like a
to the ants
typical
for
like
sure.
middle of nowhere, whatever, bam, mouth wide open and head. Again, here, chin, nose,
Terrible
head.
giants we ruin.
Just fascinating stuff,
their
isn't it? Look at
world
this. Looks like
every
a
time we
Witcher
walking
or
on the
something.
grass.
And then here,
well, yeah,
full
well, they're
body,
falling apart
almost.
anyway.
And then
I mean, they
here,
tell,
big
yeah,
face as well.
yeah,
You can see the head
cowboy
here and
boots.
the pronounced nose and everything. And yeah, again, a
All
female
right.
Titan.
Yeah, that's
close up.
interesting. Like you could watch, I could watch these forever.
And this one, I think it's one of the
But
last.
let's get back to the Vedic
Got
text.
the nose. And this is probably the last. Yeah, so big, huge mountain. You can argue.
Yeah, they sacrificed a lot of us just to please the gods. That was terrible. I'm going to have fun with the name. Okay, let me pause that. There we go. Let me see what I'm sharing. Okay. Make sure I'm sharing the right thing here. There once lived a boy named Svetakatu Aruniya. To him, his father said, Svetaketu, go to school, for there is none belonging to our caste, darling, who not have studied the Vedas. As it were, a Brahmin by birth only. Having begun his apprenticeship with a teacher, when he was 12 years of age, Svetaketu returned to his father when he was 24, having then studied the Vedas, considering himself well read and stern. His father said to him, Svetaketu, you are not so conceited, concerning yourself so well read and so stern, my dear. Have you ever asked for that instruction by which we hear what cannot be heard, by which we perceive what cannot be perceived, by which we know what cannot be known? What is that instruction, sir? He asked. The father replied, my dear, as by one clod of clay, all that is made of clay is known, the difference being only a name arising from speech, but the truth being that all is clay. And as, my dear, but by one nugget of gold, all that is made of gold is known, the difference only being a name arising from speech. But the truth being that all is gold. And as, my dear, by one pair of nail scissors. All that is made of iron is known, the difference being only a name arising from speech, but truth being all that is iron. Thus, my dear, is that instruction. The son said, surely those venerable men, my teachers, did not know that. For if they had known it, why should they not have told me? Do you, sir, therefore tell me that? Be it so, said the father. Fetch me from hence a fruit of the Nyagroda tree. Here is one, sir. Break it. It is broken. What do you see there? The seeds, almost infinitesimal. Break one of them. It is broken, sir. What do you see? Nothing, sir. My father said, my son, that subtle essence which you do not see there, of that very essence is the great Nyagroda tree, exists. Believe it, my son, that which is subtle essence, in all that exists has itself. It is true. It is the self, and thou, O Svetakatu, art that. Please, sir, still inform me more, said the son. Be it so, my child, the father replied. Place this salt in the water, and then bring it to me in the morning. The son did as he was commanded. The father said to him, bring me the salt which you placed in the water last night. The son, having looked for it, found it not, for of course it was dissolved. The father said, taste it from the surface of the water. How is it? The son replied, it is salty. Taste it from the middle. How is it? The son replied, it is salty. Taste it from the bottom. How is it? The son replied, it is salty. The father said, throw it away and come back to me. The son did so, but salt exists forever. Then the father said, here also in this body, forsooth. Do you not perceive the truth, my son? But there indeed is, that which is the subtle essence. In it all exists that. In it all that exists has itself. It is the true. It is the self. And thou, O Svet Ketu, art that. Very interesting. So the subtle essences. Oh, this is an excerpt from the Bhagavada Gita. Bhagavad. I can never say that properly. Bhagavad. Bhagavad. Can you guys say that properly? So what did you guys think of that? Well, we lost a couple of viewers, so it wasn't that interesting. Sounds like the Thoth origin story. The truth, the self, yeah. Hi, Matty Arb, you still here? Oh, and Scotty Boy's singing. Okay. It magically disappeared, right? Kind of sounds like Thoth origin story. Yeah, I was hoping we'd find some extra clues, and I think we did. I think we found a different interpretation, and it kind of gives me a little further insight into the darkness, because darkness is not nothingness. The darkness is something. Just gave me a perspective to look at it as all existence coming into being at once. Kind of like ice. You know, once you ever frozen a beer in the ice in the freezer. If you take it out, it'll still be liquid. But as soon as you open it, the entire thing just, not from any one point, just starts to turn into ice and slush. And I've often wondered if the universe was created more like that, more like a coldness disturbed by heat. And instead of there being a point or a flash, if the universe kind of went together like a cold beer does out of the freezer, adding that one positive element, goes all the way through that beer in seconds. It doesn't freeze from the outside or really any one point. All you're doing is releasing the pressure, and the entire thing freezes just all at once in seconds because of the positive addition. And then that began the motion, because then there was stuff. I'm not sure on this theory. I'm still working on it myself. But I'm sure if we scrub the ancient texts enough, we'll figure it out. At least what they thought. Yeah, icy beer, I used to like those frozen. Yeah. Girdasil depiction. Yep, I think so too. I like the way that one goes too. The Great Gunganat, the light and the darkness. I kind of like this one as the desire being the emotion that set it all. The emotion that set it all into motion. I love that part. It shows there's more than one way to reach greatness. Yes. You may need to do it quite a few sessions if you decide to. Yes, exactly. I have listened to the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, it's very long, incredibly long. But there is a lot of information in it. All right. Well, I think that's all we've got for today. We're just going to do those two and leave it at that, and people can listen to it. If you guys don't have any other input on it, we can all go visit Mystery Schooler. He says he's going to pipe up a show coming up. So if you want to post your channel again, Mystery Schooler, that'd be awesome. You guys ever see the drawings of the inside of the Giza pyramids? It looks like the inside of a skull. No, I haven't seen that. That's interesting, though. So we'll have a class tonight. I missed class last night. I laid down for a second after dinner, and that turned out to be 5 a.m. when I noticed that the world was going on. You're welcome, Truth Seeker. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll find some other stories that we can read, some other creation myths, some other ancient texts that have some interesting knowledge to add to ours. And we'll see you guys next time. And we'll see you in class later, hopefully. All right. Much love to you. You're going to have LOL after a dinner and a nap. Oh, no. Yeah, after dinner nap, huh? Yeah, that turned in. Oh, I thought you were going for a nap. You're going to nap, are you? So much love to you all. And Mystery Schooler is going to be live next. So have a great day, and I'll meet you there. Peace out, guys. Much love.